to the thunder of a jet engine.
Every new academic year is a blessing as they progress in learning and stepping ahead, finding new ways and methods to work together to make life better.
Amidst the virus that has developed in the world, somewhere deep down in our hearts, we are all waiting for a new beginning, a new ray of hope where everything gets back to normal. Following the pandemic protocol advised by the government, we are excited and ready for a smooth start.
Finally, the much-awaited day has arrived. Respected Manager, Reverend Father Anto Ketarath, respected Principal, Reverend Father Johnny Amaladasan, in charges, supervisors, dear teachers, and all my dear friends. A very delightful and gratifying good morning to everyone. Priyesh and I, Matilda Matthew, on behalf of St. Vincent Pallotti School, welcome you all virtually for reopening of new academic session 2021-22. Hope all are safe, healthy and happy at home. Let us start our first day of new academic session in the global pandemic with new energy, fresh new vibes, new hopes and new dreams.
A good beginning makes a big difference. So, to keep the beginning focused and full of dedication, let's pray to God to make the best of the coming year with hard work and patience. I call Niravi to lead us with prayer.
Lord, we are here at the beginning of another school year. Send forth your blessing on each one of us, that we learn and grow strong in your faith. Lord, we specially pray for the people who are affected by the coronavirus in various parts of the world. We come before you asking for an effective control of the outbreak, for a healing of those affected, for the victims and their families. We pray for doctors, nurses and health workers who are in the front line of this battle, that they be kept safe and have the strength and courage to continue their heroic effort. We bring our manager, principal and support staff of our school before you. We pray for your blessings over their lives, work and families. Guide them with your wisdom. We bring our parents, guardians and caregivers before you. Strengthen them from within so that they might be a source of strength, confidence and hope for us. Most of all, we bring before you the students who will be educated online at home as they pursue their education in this pandemic. Enlighten their minds, may they grow in grace and wisdom. All this we ask in your most holy name. Amen.
Beautiful things comfort us. They bring real clarity and ease. So is the prayer hymn. Prayer should spring out from heart. Let's join in singing the prayer song, What Faith Can Do.
Everybody falls sometime. Gotta find the strength to rise from the ashes, make a new beginning. Anyone can feel the ache. You think it's more than you can take, but you're stronger, stronger than you know. Don't you give up now. The sun will soon be shining. You gotta face the clouds. move the mountains. Hope that doesn't ever end. Even when the sky is falling, I've seen miracles just happen. Silent prayers get answered. Broken hearts become brand new. That's what faith can do. Doesn't matter what you heard, possible is not a word. Just a reason for some but not to try. Everybody's scared to death, but they decide to take that step out of the water. It will be alright. Life is so much more what your eyes are seeing. You will find your way if you keep believing. I've seen dreams that move the mountains. Hope that doesn't ever end. Even when the sky is falling, I've seen miracles just happen. Silent prayers get answered. Broken hearts become brand new. That's what faith can do. Overcome the odds when you don't have the chance. When the world says that you can, I will tell you that you can. I've seen dreams that move the mountain. Hope that doesn't ever end. Even when the sky is falling, I've seen miracles just happen. Silent prayers get answered. Broken hearts become brand new. That's what faith can do. That's what faith can do. Even if you fall sometimes, you will find the strength to rise.
It's the overwhelming feeling of loyalty and faith which sum up the word school anthem. Let's sing together the school anthem by holding our heads high in pride for being the part of St. Vincent Pallotti School.
We sing praises to God of wisdom, for school and patron Saint Vincent. Our voices soar high in unison.
is a way to make us aware of our duties towards our nation. I request Kavya to lead us with the pledge.
Kindly raise your right palm for the pledge. India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. I love my country and I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. I shall always strive to be worthy of it. I shall give my parents, teachers and all elders respect and treat everyone with courtesy. To my country and my people, I pledge my devotion. In their well-being and prosperity alone lies my happiness.
If we think positive and be positive, then all the things will become positive. Thoughts merely make our life positive. Alan is here to inspire us with the thought of the day.
The thought for the day is the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I repeat, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
Now, I request our dear Principal, Reverend Father Johnny Amaladasan, to accord a cordial welcome to the students and staff.
A warm good morning to all of you. Helen Harkins says, chaos breeds creativity. Chaos destroys the familiar. It is the bedrock that moves you forward creatively into your future. A warm welcome, my dear students, parents, teachers and staff for the new academic year 2021-22 commencing today. I congratulate all of you for coming out successfully, creatively and confidently from the chaos created by the pandemic in 2020. My special note of welcome to all the new faces added in the school room. I assure you that all of you will be safe and sound in this campus. Begin the year with a positive note, strong decision to organize yourself well and participate actively in all the learning process planned. I wish all the best things and every blessings and protection of God during this academic year. Thank you.
Thank you, Father, for such an inspiring message. Music is world within itself. It's a language we all understand. Let's mesmerize ourselves with the performance of our primary teachers.
हम सब हाथ मिलाए
It was indeed a melodious performance. Everyone needs motivation to live a successful life. Motivational quotes refreshes our mind and sense in order to achieve greater heights. So, here are our teachers of Standard 2 with some motivational quotes.
Education is a passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. Flowers always make people better, happier, and more helpful. They are sunshine, food, and medicine for the soul. So, children, you also bloom like these pretty flowers. Whenever you read a good book, somewhere in the world, a door opens to allow in more light.
Thank you, teachers, for motivating us. Inspirational and motivational speech have an amazing ability to change the way we feel about life. Our today's guest speaker, Ma'am Swaima Ahmed, is a talented person who is working towards connecting young minds to strive towards success and achievement. She is an entrepreneur, educator, keynote speaker, event manager, soft skill trainer, and social activist. Now let's hear from Ma'am Swaima Ahmed.
Good morning to my Saint Vincent Pallotti School family. Reverend Father Anto, our manager, Reverend Father Johnny, our principal, supervisors and in charges of different sections, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and my young leaders. It's a cheerful welcome I bring to each one of you this morning with the hopes, dreams, and aspirations that we all share. I hope all of you are hale and hearty, safe and sanitized, and I feel truly honored and humbled to be joining you as your chief guest on this auspicious occasion of the inaugural ceremony of the new academic session 2021-22. Let's hope that the upcoming years usher in with healthy, wealthy, peaceful, prosperous, and pleasant times for all of us. Now, before we get started, boys and girls, I have a few requests to make to all of you. Number one, I request all my participants to stay with me till the end of the session. As Jayashri ma'am was telling me the other day that I will be getting an opportunity to interact with students from grade 1 to grade 12. And therefore, I'll try my best to not make it a typical speech for you. I'll try to make this fun, frolicsome, and wholesome for all of you. So please stay with me till the very end. The second request is please feel free to use the comments section below. You're most welcome to ask questions, write down your comments, and I'll make sure I get back to you. The third request, boys and girls, is to remember my brain tattoo, which is an idea without execution is just an illusion. In other words, your doing is far more important than your data. So please make sure that if you listen to something exciting and practical in this session, you grab the idea and apply it in your everyday life. Because the session is going to be really practical and pragmatic. So please make sure that you apply these ideas ruthlessly in your everyday life. And the fourth request, boys and girls, is to sit with your notebook and a pen. So just in case you find something interesting, something insightful, you can jot it down in your notebook and refer to it anytime during the academic session. So on that note, it's time for us to get started. And through this talk, I really want to be of service to you. I know all of you have different dreams and goals and aspirations in life, and I really want to be your partner in success. I really hope that you work rigorously and relentlessly towards your dreams and you become a game changer. You fulfill all your dreams. You build your personal, professional brand as you grow up. And eventually, I hope you build empires of creativity, prosperity, productivity, and eventually helpfulness towards the society. So, on that note, boys and girls, once again I express my deepest gratitude to St. Vincent Pallotti School, to our manager, principal, and supervisor Jayashree ma'am for having invited me to this session as a chief guest on this auspicious occasion. And we know that Pallotti School happens to be one of the pioneering and prominent schools, CBSE schools in the city. And I've always seen the students bringing laurels to this school in various domains like sports and extracurriculars. And I really hope that all of you continue to work towards your vision, your goal, and that is all round development. Now, please remember that I'm always cheering and rooting for you. And I think this association that I have with Pallotti School is just the beginning of productive and prolific times ahead. Now, the topic I've chosen for you, boys and girls, for this inaugural ceremony is why is your personal development of key importance? Now, we all know that we study so many subjects in school. We study math, science, social studies, art, PE, etc., etc. But eventually, if you really think about the purpose of teaching all these subjects to you, it is to help you develop, learn, and flourish as an individual. Reminds me of what Swami Vivekanand once said. Education is the process of development and refinement of mind, man making, character building, life building, assimilating fine ideas and making them your life and character. It's always far beyond rote learning, boys and girls. It's not just about the bookish knowledge, the classroom learning. It's also about the wholesome experience you get in your school from morning till the evening. Even through online classes, we know how tough the times have been recently. But I really congratulate all of you, all the students who are adapting so well to the online methods and performing well even in the online classes. And that's what the purpose of education is. It's adaptability. As a student, you should be empowered to adapt to any circumstance that pop up, right? And that's exactly what you did. Now, I will be talking to you about some practical ways to help you improve your personality, right? Now, on that note, boys and girls, please remember that your personal development, the efforts that you put in developing yourself, your skill sets, your personality, your talents, your skills, your dexterity is the biggest investment you'll ever make in your life. Why is it that our school always encourages you and inspires you to participate in so many extracurricular activities, in so many co-curricular activities, in so many seminars and webinars, in so many competitions and sporting events? Well, the reason is because we want to see you developing holistically. That means from every dimension. I have given a TEDx talk recently which is titled Becoming Forever Fierce. It's available on YouTube. And this talk, boys and girls, is all about how to build an unshakable confidence in yourself. And in this talk, I talk about how important it is for all of us, irrespective of the age group we belong to, how important it is for us to keep developing our confidence level, right? Through various activities, through various projects, through various interactions, through various conferences, through various seminars, webinars, and every opportunity that you get to improve your skill. And I think these years in your school life, these 10 years, these 5 years at your disposal are a game changer, right? They're a game changer. And why do I call it a game changer? I'm going to share the reason with you through a story. Now, this is the story of a person named Chris. And Chris was basically an architect, and he was working with a house building firm for almost 25 years now. Now, at the end of 25 years, boys and girls, he was exhausted. He didn't want to continue working with this firm, and so he decided to submit his resignation. But the director of the company knew that Chris is a diligent worker. He's been an asset to this firm, and therefore they were not willing to let him go. But on perpetual insistence, somehow the director gives him a thumbs up, but on one condition. And the director tells him that, Chris, I'll let you go on one condition, and that is you will be completing one last house building assignment. Chris was in no mood to say yes, but he wanted to leave as early as possible, and therefore he had to give a thumbs up. Now, Chris started to work on this house building assignment, and basically, he was given 6 months to complete this project. Now, Chris was in a hurry, you know that. So, somehow he tried polishing off within 4 months. Chris was somebody, boys and girls, who spent a lot of time researching and finding and scrutinizing and examining everything he used during the construction process. But for the first time in his career, he did not really do that. He had this chalta hai attitude, banda ye bindas attitude, and he just aimed at finishing it off as quickly as possible. So he didn't really evaluate the wood he was using. He didn't evaluate the quality of cement he was using. And he didn't even incorporate a swimming pool this time in the house because he really wanted to get it done. And at the end of 4 months, he goes to the director and tells him, "Sir, mission accomplished. I've done the work." The director is flabbergasted. 4 months? That's amazing. And he calls him inside. He asks him to sit down. And boys and girls, you know what he does? He takes the keys of the house from Chris and he gives them back to Chris, saying, "This is your token of appreciation, Chris, for all the incredible services you've provided us with in the last 25 years. Chris is taken aback. For the first time in his career, boys and girls, he didn't spend meticulous time in evaluating and building a house. For the first time in his career, he really compromised with the quality and with the efficiency of his work. And eventually he ended up in cold water. Now, somehow, I feel all of us become Chris sometime in life. Every single day, boys and girls, no matter which class you are in, no matter how intelligent or hardworking you are, no matter how talented or skillful you are, every single day you get opportunities to improve yourself. Maybe incrementally, slightly. And if you do not grab that opportunity, you are living life just like Chris. You're committing the same mistake that Chris committed, right? So if you're someone who's working on his skill sets every single day, if you're someone who's passionate, who knows I'm going to get up in the morning, I'm going to do this, this is my homework, I'm going to do this assignment, I'm going to learn this skill, I'm going to attend this program, I'm going to be playing this game. If you're someone who knows exactly what to do, someone who works at his goal setting, someone who knows that I have to be better than yesterday, then probably you are playing big with your life. And this is one of the qualities we need to start inculcating from this age. And this is the quality all our teachers have been encouraging us to do, right? And that is consistency. You need to be consistent in doing something if you really want to excel in it. If you want to be a good reader, you can't expect to read a book once in a blue moon, once in a week, once in a month, or maybe once in a year, or exclusively in summer vacation. No, you need to be doing it rigorously every single day. I happen to be an international soft skills trainer. I train students from across the world. And right now, my domain is the US Canadian domain. So I train a lot of US Canadian students in the areas of personal development, personal growth, public speaking, creative writing, and confidence building. And one thing observed in my students is that most of them, boys and girls, they happen to be passionate readers. Even the students in grade 1 and 2, even the kindergarten students read chapter books, So reading is something that can give you a fillip in your skill development. So if you want to improve maybe your reading skills, your speaking skills, your vocabulary, your descriptive abilities, your imaginative powers, you need to be reading consistently every single day, maybe one page every day, maybe one paragraph every day, but consistency is the key. You need to be doing it every single day, right? It is said that one of the greatest drawbacks of this generation, the millennials, the Gen Z, the Gen X, the current generation is that we are suffering from something called the attention deficit disorder. What is the meaning of this? This simply means that we cannot focus, even when we know that our energy or our focus is more important than our intelligence. So it is said that 10 years ago, maybe a decade ago, a normal human being's attention span happened to be 10 minutes, which means 10 years ago, I would have taken at least 10 minutes to really observe you, notice you, and then finally evaluate and judge if you are boring or interesting, powerful or powerless, if you are intelligent or unintelligent. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, in this age of dramatic distraction, constant digital interruptions, continuous distractions popping up from everywhere, the constant notifications, the attention span of a normal human being has reduced from 10 minutes to merely 7 seconds, which means we take nearly 7 seconds to judge people, right? We take nearly 7 seconds to get distracted. And there's another very interesting psychological study which says that if you're doing something seriously, for example, if you're reading or studying or solving a paper or doing any serious intellectual cognitive activity, and if you get distracted, maybe with a notification tone or maybe with anything around, it takes 21 minutes for a normal human being to refocus on the same activity with the same proficiency. Think about it. How many of us are killing our times day in and day out because of dramatic distraction? Right? So the whole point is consistency, boys and girls, is about doing something productive or constructive every single day. If you're someone who's working on maybe his communication skills, you have to start communicating effectively in English every single day. If you're someone who's planning to be a pro at a sport, you need to be playing that sport every single day, maybe for some time, right? If you're planning to be a mesmerizing singer, you need to put in concrete efforts every single day. If you are a traditional dancer, planning to master a particular dance form, you need to rehearse every single day, or maybe twice or thrice in a week. If you're someone who's learning maybe coding or maybe a foreign language or maybe a new language or any new skill, please remember, boys and girls, the basic requirement is consistent efforts. And I think this age, the age bracket of 8 to 18 years, these 10 years of your life, I call them the rocket years. You know why rocket years? Because this is the time, boys and girls, when you will launch the rest of your life. You will launch the rest of your life. Why do I say this? Because the habits you inculcate, habits relate to your physical fitness, to your mental health, to your spiritual well-being, to your social skills, to your personal development, to your career success, to your financial habits, to your educational qualification or educational habits. I think all of these habits, all of these regular activities help you mold and build yourself. So what you will be at the age of 20 or 25 or 30 is not determined by what you do in one day before your birthday. No, it is determined by what you do in these 10 years, these rocket years of your life, right? And therefore, inculcating good habits, habits that will support you, encourage you, inspire you to be a better, revamped version is what we need to focus on right now. If there's something the teacher's scolding you for, probably it's because the teacher wants to see you grow and inculcate new habits, good habits, right? Now, moving on with my topic, boys and girls, please remember consistency is the key. I call it consistency is the DNA of mastery. If you want to become a master of anything, if you want to become a game changer, if you want to become a titan, please remember you have to put in some efforts, Reminds me of what Muhammad Ali once said. Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxing champion. He said that I hated every minute of the training I went through, but I loved the idea of becoming a world champion. Think about it. That means if you aspire to be a champ, a pro, or a master at something, you need to start taking baby step towards it, right? You can't make a big splash or a big leap towards it. Of course, you can, but you need to primarily begin with these baby steps, with these small steps towards achieving your goal, right? There's this wonderful Spartan warrior credo, a Spartan warrior motto, which says that the warrior who sweats the most in training bleeds the least in war, which means the more you practice, the more you train, the more efforts you put in, the more consistency you put in, the more commitment you show, the better results you produce. You produce bigger, better, and brighter results. And I think these 10 years of your school life is the time for you to put in all the efforts, boys and girls. Now, the reason I'm saying this with so much confidence and aplomb is because I have been a product of the concrete, consistent efforts I put in as a school student. You know, I was in my school days, I was quite an outstanding student because I was outside the class more often as a leader, as a monitor, as somebody who's participating in every activity, in sports, in cultural events. You know, we know exact. I mean, most of you are probably outstanding students. You know it, and I have some of my friends. In the Pallotti staff, Alice and Cinderella, and I'm sure they can go back. You know, they're nostalgic right now, and you know, studying in convent school, it was always important for all of us to be active and proactive all the time. And I think one of the greatest contributions to my personal development was made by my teachers, by you know, the constant and concrete efforts they put in, their feedback, and eventually it was that spark that I had in me to walk an extra mile, to go beyond the average. You know, in 8th standard, boys and girls, I was suffering from Bell's palsy. It's temporary facial paralysis. So basically, half of my facial muscles were paralyzed, and basically, I couldn't speak properly because imagine somebody is holding your half your facial muscles, so the pronunciation is distorted, and it was quite a tough phase for me. And it was during this time I tried recovering to the fullest during the summer vacations, but it was difficult. And for the first time in my life, boys and girls, I took part in the first ever extempore speech competition of my life. Extempore speech basically is a competition wherein they give the topic on spot and you speak impromptu. You speak on the spot spontaneously without preparation. Now, this was a competition organized by the LIC divisional office, and I basically went there to take part in painting competitions. I won a lot of painting competitions during my school days. And after submitting my drawing, I was free for a couple of hours because the prize distribution was scheduled in the evening. Now, I happened to just enter the boardroom with my father where the speech competition was taking place, and there was no limit on the number of participants. So my father asked me to give it a try. I refused because I knew I'm going to have butterflies in my stomach, right? I've never spoken on stage before. And of course, at an inter-school event, you know, that witnessed participants from across the city, brilliant, eloquent speakers. And somehow he instigated me. He wanted me to speak, and then he told me, just go, introduce yourself, your name, your school name, and say thank you and come back. I said, all right, I can do that for a participation certificate, you know. So I went on the stage, I went towards the rectum, I picked up a chit, and the topic I got for this competition was God helps those who help themselves, right? And I could relate to the topic because the patch that I was going through was tough, and I knew that if I really want to improve my condition, if I want to overcome disability, the physiotherapy and the antibiotics probably wouldn't be enough if I do not have the willpower to overcome this disability, right? And somehow I gathered courage to speak on this topic, boys and girls. I went ahead, introduced myself, and I threw light on the topic. God helps those who help themselves. I was a voracious reader, so I did have some quotes in the back of my mind, some anecdotes. And trust me, for those 3 minutes, I spoke very spontaneously. I didn't even prepare for 2 minutes. They generally gave 2 minutes to every participant to prepare a structure, to organize their thoughts. I didn't do that. I spoke very spontaneously, and I talked about my physical condition, my disability, and how this opportunity gave me a chance to actually face this insurmountable odd. I spoke, and I simply, concluded with a thank you, with a quote. I came back, and I didn't expect any remarkable result because I knew that I was very ordinary, and the topic was familiar, and I could relate it to my personal experience, and I simply talked about it eloquently. And you won't believe, boys and girls, in the evening when we had the prize distribution ceremony, I was expecting the first prize in the painting competition. I ended up with a consolation prize, but it was in the extempore speech competition I won the first prize. And I was clueless. I didn't know how I achieved this feat because I'd never spoken on stage. I never knew I was a good speaker. And it was like a cherry on the cake for me. And trust me, since then, there was no looking back. I've had the honor of winning 500 plus debates and elocution competitions since then. I have represented India at various international youth festivals as an Indian delegate for debates and elocutions. And coupled with this, I have delivered a TEDx talk as well. TEDx happens to be one of the most prestigious platforms that we have for thinkers, innovators, and entrepreneurs. And moreover, I have made my passion my profession. So I run this academy called Fitness Academy, where I train students and professionals in schools and colleges across the country, across South Asia, and also in US and Canada, in the areas of public speaking, creative writing, confidence building, effective communication. And my mission is basically to empower young guns to become more charismatic, more confident, and more competent. Because I feel every student, if not public speaking, it could be any skill that you want to develop. Any skill. It could be dancing, it could be singing, it could be theater, it could be fine arts, it could be anything. So please make sure, boys and girls, that you do not give up. Reminds me of what Martin Luther King Jr. once said. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising up every time you fall. And that's what the schooling experience is all about. It's not about winning, and bringing laurels all the time. It is about failing. It is about experiencing failures. It is about learning from your mistakes and eventually bouncing back with alacrity. वो कहते हैं कि अभी तो असली मंजिल बाकी है, अभी तो इरादों का इम्तिहान बाकी है, अभी तो नापी है मुट्ठी भर जमी, अभी नापना पूरा आसमां बाकी है. So I really encourage you guys today. I want to take this opportunity to give you a very clear, a crystal clear message, boys and girls. And that is, please understand the fact that the more you dive deeper into your interests, into your creativity, into your skill development, the sweeter the fruits. All right. Now, a lot of students ask me about why is it necessary for us to develop ourselves, in terms of our skills, in terms of our talents, in terms of our presentation, in terms of our knowledge bank. I think the best way to answer this question is to give you an example of the Calgary Tower. The Calgary Tower happens to be the tallest tower in the world. And it is said that out of 10,000 tons, boys and girls, 6,000 tons are below the ground, below the surface. And what we see is just 4,000 tons. And despite that, this is the strongest and tallest tower in the world. Think about it. That means you have to really work at a strong foundation. And school, your school life, your school lessons, your school teachers, your school activities, your school performance, your school failures, your school successes actually helps you build this solid foundation. And you will not really realize the significance right now. You will not find the pleasant, game-changing results immediately, but you will realize it after you grow up, maybe when you're in your 20s or 30s. right? So that is what your presentation skills, your personal development, your value system, and your character building does to you. Now, you might ask me a question that, ma'am, these are tough times. We are going through a turbulent time. How do we do it during this phase? Well, the answer is simple. Please remember that you have to hunt for opportunities. Even if you are attending classes online, please remember you have ample amount of time at your disposal, right? How are you spending your day? Think about it. Are you just killing your time? Have you increased your screen time doing something futile on your phone, your tab, your computer, your laptop throughout the day? Or are you really making the most of your time? Well, you have to be balanced. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So please make sure you play, you have fun, you are engaged in recreational activities. At the same time, please make sure, boys and girls, that you are able to strike a balance. All right, I'm going to share with you this wonderful example of the Chinese bamboo. As it said, that Chinese bamboo is one of those rare plants that grows up to 80 feet long. 80 feet long. And it generally takes 5 years and 3 months for this plant to manifest its true growth. And for the first 5 years, when you really plant the seeds, for the first 5 years, you see absolutely nothing. There's no growth, you don't see anything, but in just a span of 3 or 4 months, boys and girls, you see this plant, you see the Chinese bamboo shooting out and literally springing out of the bulb. And it sounds astounding, but this is a real process that takes place, friends. In 90 days, it attains a towering height of 80 feet. Think about it. So, do you think that nothing really happened in the first 5 years in those 60 months? What do you think? This is the time when the real, rigorous, invisible growth takes place. And what you see in the 90 days is nothing but a result of that, you know, rigorous, invisible growth that was taking place in the last 5 months. So let's remember that, the roots somehow, they were building complex networks, and therefore the Chinese bamboo was able to attain this towering height. I think our lives and our growth processes are very, very similar. So what we do in these 10 years, I told you the results will not be very palpable or tangible immediately, but you do experience it. But you do see the effects, you do see the results probably in a few years, right? So what you will be as an individual, personally, professionally, socially, spiritually, academically, financially, will be a result of the efforts you are putting in right now in your school days, in grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 7, grade 10, right? So please make sure, boys and girls, that you make the most of this phase. You grab every opportunity to learn, fail, grow, and eventually excel. Please do not expect instant results. This is the generation of instant gratification. We do something and we want instant results. Maybe you're suffering from cold and cough, God forbid, and you're expecting instant recovery, right? There are people out there who are trying to lose weight and they're expecting to lose maybe 10 kgs in a month, which is possible, but it's unhealthy at the same time, right? There are people out there who are trying to use a lot of get rich quickly schemes. There are people out there who are trying to learn a new language within a month or so. There are people out there who are fast food lovers. So this is a generation of instant gratification. We want instant results, right? But let's remember that pausing and being patient is the key that nature teaches us every single day, right? And patience is the key. And I want all my students to remember that it's only patience that will give you incredible rewards in your life. So be patient with yourself, be generous with yourself. Make sure that you're giving yourself enough time to prepare yourself, and that is how you grow as a Chinese bamboo. All right, and to become a man of substance, to become a woman of substance, to become a man of character, to become a woman of character, you have to really wait, put in continuous efforts, and not expect instant results. Mushrooms, we see mushrooms on rainy nights everywhere, and then they wither away the very next day. we need to not be mushrooms, right? We need to be people who are sustainably building ourselves, right? We know that the journey is long and tiresome, but the results will be in our favor, right? Now, boys and girls, that's my message for you in today's inaugural ceremony. My vision is to see all of you putting in consistent, concrete efforts every single day. I want all of you, my young guns, to believe in the power of sustainability, right? Putting sustained efforts and not giving up. Today, if you look at any successful person you admire, your role model, you will see that this person's life is all about invincibility. His life is all about resilience. His life or her life is all about never giving up, right? And I know you have a dream, you have a goal, you have an ambition, you have a vision, and to accomplish that, you need a plan as well. Reminds me of what Warren Buffett once said. He said that an idiot with a plan can easily defeat a genius without a plan. Now, in no way am I suggesting that you need to be supremely planned and prepared all the time. No, that's not feasible. But as much as possible, please make sure that you start organizing your days. Begin small. Start organizing your days. Start having a to-do list. Make sure that you're able to organize your days, your weeks, your months in a way that you have a crystal clear clarity about your academics, about your extracurricular growth, and about all the other developments taking place in your life.
Thank you, ma'am, for such a wonderful speech. Now I call Pravanshu to propose the vote of thanks.
Good morning to one and all present here. I take it as a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks for the official reopening of the school. Let me first start by giving glory to the Almighty God, keeping us safe and blessing us with strength and compassion. First and foremost, I would like to thank our manager, Reverend Father Anto Ketharat, and our Father Principal, Reverend Father Johnny Amaldasan, for their words of strength, for motivating us and supporting us. I am grateful to our Principal, Reverend Father Johnny Amaldasan, for words of encouragement for the students. His able guidance has always encouraged us. I thank him for his kindness and interest to continue serving. My heartfelt thanks to all the in charges, supervisors, and various departments and the faculty members for the various contribution, guidance, and motivation to all our efforts. I sincerely thank our parents who have stood by us and supported us in all our endeavors. Finally, I would like to thank my fellow students for actively and enthusiastically participating in today's program. At the end, I would like to quote the words of Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Thank you.
And welcome back to school. You've made it through the summer, now there's work to do. So put a smile on your face and sing out with me. We're gonna have a good year, just wait and see. We're gonna have a good year, it's true. We're gonna have a good year, me and you. So put a smile on your face and sing out with me. We're gonna have a good year, just wait and see. First things first, let's talk about our rules. One or two procedures that will help us through. So pay attention please, and try not to sneeze. Repeat after me, rules 1 through 3. Raise your hand. Show respect to all. Follow all directions. One more time. Raise your hand. Show respect to all. face and sing out with me. We're gonna have a good year, just wait and see. We're gonna have a good year, it's true. We're gonna have a good year, me and you. So put a smile on your face and sing out with me. We're gonna have a good year, just wait and see. First things first, let's talk about our rules. One or two procedures that will help us through. So pay attention please, and try not to sneeze. Repeat after me, rules 1 through 3. Raise your hand. Show respect to all.
Thank you, Prabhanshu. National anthem develops the spirit of equality and humanity among all. It spreads the message of love and togetherness. Let us all stand straight in honor of our national anthem.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गावे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
On behalf of the management and the staff of St. Vincent Pallotti School, I once again welcome all of you to be part of this school community where success is not an option but an expectation. Thank you and have a wonderful day.